Hello and welcome back to another How to Prototech. We finally did it. We found the Prototech Fusion Reactor and it's inside the listening post. But of course, how do we get inside? Alright, so the listening post has a lot of defenses. One is this big old shield that you're seeing around it. And around the whole area are these substations that you need to disable to get into it. Alright, so in this particular variation, we have rail drones surrounding the listening post about 1k away or 1 kilometer away from the base itself. So there is going to be about 4 of these guys, and the drones do vary depending on the variation that you get. So not a lot of variety of drones this time around. It's just all Factorum rail drones in this case. Best to kind of beat them away from the base as much as possible when fighting them, because you don't want to get too close to the listening post, because the listening post itself, although it has a shield, still can shoot through. So the artillery turrets and interior turrets will fire outside of the shield. So if you're standing out here, you're going to get shot by the interior turret. That's the key, because the artillery turret is not going to shoot you and a small ship. It's mainly going to aim for a large ship. And it's at 2,000 meters, which is 2 kilometers away. So you want to stay as far away from this thing as possible if you have a large ship. So you want to be roughly about 2 kilometers away in this case, and try to bait for the drones to come after you so you can fight them away from the base. Once you do get rid of the drones, well, now it's time to look at these Factorum zone substations. The substation is what keeps the shield up. So what you need to do is take down all 5 substations, and the shield will come down so you can go take a peek inside and collect your Prototech. Alright, so we're roughly 950 meters away from the listening post down the middle. And of course, you can see bits of the asteroids or things in the screen. So I'll point out which are the zone substations. So the closest ones towards the listening post here and here are actually called Substation A. The one on the bottom left furthest is going to be Substation B. And the circular ones that are in asteroids are actually going to be Substation C. If we're going to go in alphabetical order, here's Substation A. And this one's actually defended with 2 interior turrets right on the sides here. And what you really need to do is get inside and take down the action relay block. So how to do that? If you're looking at it this way, which is right side up, just behind the antenna dish will be a bit of a Willis duct right over here. So get into it, take out your grinder, and grind down that action relay. The next one's going to be Substation B. The Substation B looks very similar to A in some way. It's a satellite type of station. And this one is defended by 1 interior turret towards the top. And where's the action relay block? Well, similar to A, look behind the dish antenna. Where you want to get into the Willis duct. Take out your grinder and grind down this action relay. Substation C, which is this big old rock station in an asteroid, which is going to be a friend, we'll talk about that in a second, has 2 entrances. One is the main door right here, which you could grind down. Take out the interior turret and then grind down the action relay. Or the other option would be on the top next to the dish, where there's a bit of a vent system here or a Willis duct. So open the gate, get down, take out the light panel, take out the interior turret, and then the action relay. Alright, so once you take down all 5 substations in its variety, the listening post shield will come down. Alright, so once you have the shield down, you still got to deal with the 4 artillery turrets and also the interior turrets next to each one. So once you have all those weapons disabled, you have a landing pad right on top. And the first thing you're going to see is going to be Prototech. So this one here is actually the small grid jump drive. And if you hear it, we found the fusion reactor. So you can always take a bit of a sneak peek in this variation. So coming from the small grid Prototech item there. Right behind it, down here in blue, the blue lights, you see a sneak peek of the fusion reactor. Other variations has the assembler and some small grid batteries, and that's what I've seen so far. Right, so how do we get inside? Well, we could just easily take the ladders down here or stairs down here. Get inside, make your way downwards, and then break down this door or take out this pedestal. Hack it, push the button, and it opens up the door. Get inside here, make your way down, and then make your way to the right, where the blue lights indicates what we've got. So once you make it here, you've got your fusion reactor that needs liberating from Factorum. So with the fieldwork update, looks like they added a little bit to it here. So they added a new pipe system, new O2H2 generator right here with the bubbles. And this whole listening post is pretty nuts because it's pretty big. So you'll see a lot of different cargo areas here. A bit of a science center here. Some supplies. And you could pretty much go around the whole entire listening post to get as much materials as possible. So even in this little barrel, got some flares. You got a station right here. Looks like captain's quarters, if anything. If you make your way down these ladders, that's going to be the safe zone. But more or less, that is the listening post in the inside. And to get the Prototech, you want to cut out the back right over there, so you can grab the item with ease. Alright, so that's the walkthrough and all the defenses and the possible things you get from the listening post. How do we tackle this? Alright, we're once again in Big Blue right here, which we have a bunch of artillery, assault cannons, and Gatling turrets to defend and fight this unidentified signal or this Factorum encounter. So before I mentioned that Substation C is your friend, and why I say that is because right in front of us, as we kind of maneuvered ourselves this way, is because we're going to use Substation C to hide behind the listening post itself. So putting it to the test, we will slowly bring in our ship, and we don't want to get too close. We want to get as close as we can to the station itself, the substation. The drones will still come after us eventually, wherever they are. But for now, we're 2K away, which is fine. We're 1.8 kilometers away from the substation, but the listening post behind it is like 2 kilometers away, as you see the unidentified signal post. And then once we get close enough, our artillery will start firing, our assault cannons will fire, and we're safe from the listening post. The rail drones can be a bit pesky if you don't have your artillery set to fire in small grid, but you easily deal with them by going fly and dismantle their batteries, as long as you're away from the listening post. So there's about 4 of these guys here, so as soon as you get close to them, take out their batteries, because that's the more important piece. And then they won't have any trouble anymore. So each one is equipped with 2 railguns and 2 batteries. So easier to just take out the battery than the railgun itself. And as you see here, we're 1 kilometer away from the unidentified signal, the encounter, and I'm not getting shot. So very important that you don't get too close to for the interior turrets to shoot you. But since the artillery is not shooting players, you should be perfectly fine. So once you take out all the drones, you can start taking out the substations. So you could do it by person without the ship if you want to, but probably best to go in with the ship. You can hide somewhat behind and pretty decently behind Substation C's, the asteroid station. I'll get as comfortable as 500 meters away from the listening post. Let the ship do its thing by shooting down all the turrets that are in the substation. And of course, we go into the substations to take out the action relays, as we mentioned. The trickiest one is going to be Substation C, because it does have 2 entrances. If you have a rocket launcher, you can take this one out pretty easily. So you're basically aiming up here. You can kind of see the turret from the door. Don't peek here because you might get shot. So take it down and then shoot it down with your rocket. If you don't want to do your rocket and you want to do a grinder, go to the top section. Go down from the bottom. And go ahead and go close to the turret and disable it before you take out the action relay. So each substation that you're going to get next to, as long as you know which one you're dealing with, so the ones with the solar panels like that is substation A, and the turrets are going to be on the sides here, which they've been taken out by the ship. So you should be more than fine to take out the action relay as quickly as possible this way. Of course, you don't want to get too close to the listening post when it has its shields up, because it still has the 600-meter interior turret range on you. So when you get closer and closer to these things, your best bet is to kind of hide and behind it and not looking at the listening post. Obviously, you're going to get shot a little bit here and there, but you should be fine. But once you get here, take out the action relay. So you don't have to really look for the Willis duct. You can kind of just grind things down to get to it, to be on the safe side. Then you back up 500 meters away from the listening post. Head on to the next substation. For example, substation B. Once you get close to it, you're probably gonna get shot by the turret if your ship didn't target it yet. It should have targeted it, but if it didn't get targeted, then make sure to hide behind it and take it out. But even before then, hiding behind the listening post like this, for example, there's the listening post right down the middle. But you want to kind of get out of the line of sight, get close to it, take out the turret, and then also take out the action relay. That's kind of the strategy that I adopted that kind of works pretty well. More or less, the drones are their biggest annoyance more than anything. In this variation, you got the real drones, but other variations you get like the high-profile escorts, the assault support drone, the M2 barrage, and things like that. But keep in mind, you do need a lot of ammo to fight the drones and also fight all the weaponry that's attached to it. Alright, so I'm not too afraid of attacking the listening post like this, because the Prototech item is pretty protected inside. So even with all this damage and firing, as you see, the reactor is still safe inside its housing right over here. Once again, we found the Prototech Fusion Reactor. Hopefully this guide is a bit helpful in attacking the listening post, grabbing your Prototech. I would say good hunting. If you enjoyed this one, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment down below, even to just say hi. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.